Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sporting Express. Hope everybody's doing well. I know this is a bit late and stuff, but it's practically the only time I've got to do this video. Um, I want to talk about West Ham again, if you don't mind, and the situation with Lopetegui, the board, and all things West Ham, really, because it's a total, complete, and utter mess what's happening at West Ham. Um, it's public knowledge that they've been trying to find a replacement for Lopetegui. They weren't happy with Lopetegui's results, so the apparently the story is the they offered Graham Potter a 6 month contract um to end the season, and Graham Potter's turned it down. So it's public knowledge now. Lopetegui knows that the club are actively looking for a replacement for him. Now, they had a meeting apparently, and because they couldn't get Graham Potter for 6 months, they decided to give Lopetegui the Wolves game. Now, the problem I've got with all this is, and it's a pretty straightforward problem, is uh, Lopetegui knows that they don't want him at the club. He's been asked to, despite all this, he's been asked to take the game for the Wolves and try and get a result. Now, I don't know how you feel. No, if you're in work, knowing that your money, knowing that the directors want you gone, but they want you to take another game regardless, simply because Graham Potter wouldn't take a 6 month contract. I don't know how you I don't know if your mind is fully on the job. If you can be 100% committed to West Ham, knowing all this, and it's it's a total and utter mess. I watched Hammer's chat, and Gio summed it up really well when he said that Sullivan's bottled it, bottled sacking him. And a lot of the West Ham fan base aren't happy at all. There's calls to boycott the game against Wolves, with it being on Sky Sports, try and make a protest that way. Because if the stadium's empty, it don't look good for Sullivan. And maybe he will act then, but they should have acted already. They should have, when it started going wrong for Lopetegui, let's be honest, he hasn't exactly had a good period of consistency when it comes to Premier League for West Ham. So they should have been already interviewing, putting the feelers out there who's really interested in it, and for the amount of contract what Sullivan wants to do. Um, I just want to share the screen with you guys. Right, this is the defenders what have been used this season. Right, as you can see, to the Mavropanos has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games as centre back partnership. He's missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's missed 6 games. Kilman has played every single game. That's not a surprise when Kilman was a Lopetegui signing. Tadibo has missed. Well, let's start with the games he's played. He's played against Brentford, Ipswich, Tottenham, um, Nottingham Forest, Everton, Newcastle, and Arsenal. Now, the thing with Tadibo is, by all accounts, Lopetegui's had a big bust up with him. They got into a really bad argument, and look, Tadibo's trading on his own. So, and apparently he's been told that he'll never play for West Ham again. Now, Tadibo is on loan with an obligation to buy, and I believe it's like £40 million. So they can't really afford to do that. And by all accounts, Lopetegui's fallen out with players like Kilman as well. There's there's two or three players he's actually had doings with. He's only been in job 5 minutes, and he's already causing a rift in the camp and everything. Well, um, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's played all the games at barring the opening two, which were Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. Emerson's played every single game. Started every single game, sorry, apart from the Leicester game where he come off the bench. Soufal, he's played 3 games in total, started 3 games in total. Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, and Leicester. So there's no consistency between you know who you've gone with it back for, and that's because he's fallen out with players, and it's mad. It's absolutely crazy. Um, this is a story from Sky Sports News, and this is a bit long-winded, but I'm hoping that we can go through it. So, Julian Lopetegui, why West Ham boss is on the ropes, just 14 Premier games since succeeding David Moyes. Julian Lopetegui's job at West Ham is under threat. Only 14 Premier League games after succeeding David Moyes. Hammers are closer to the bottom three than the European spots. Watch West Ham v Wolves live on Sky Sports on Monday. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. So the West Ham fans have got to go all the way through the weekend, hearing bits coming out of club, snippets coming out. But this person's done this, that person's done this, and and we've done this. It's a mess, and that's a perfect image. That is an absolutely perfect image for him, really. Sorry about the pop-ups. Julian Lopetegui is only 14 Premier League games into his West Ham career and needs to win the 15th to save his job. Personally, I think he should have gone already. I don't understand why they're giving him this game, and I don't understand why Lopetegui hasn't walked out just like he did. He's done it against Wolves. So I'm surprised. I imagine it'll probably be all about the money, what he's going to get. He loses money. He loses money if he walked out. So maybe that's why he ain't doing it this time. The former Spain. Oh, sugar! No. Why go so fast? Come back! Come back! Right, here we are. Right, the former Spain and Real Madrid manager, forced into the 21st century. Oh, I'm gonna have to read it like this. Sorry, guys, I don't know what's going on. The home of Flowey football was meant to mark the arrival of the new era in East London, after the pragmatically successful but technically limited David Moyes' reign. It has not worked out that way. The first 5 months since the appointment have been overshadowed by indecisive tactics, shattered, shattered confidence, and new additions struggling to settle. The problem is the reason why they're struggling to settle is because he hasn't given he hasn't he keeps chopping and changing. Things have turned so quickly that this is already the third integration of a feature, searching for answers where the things have gone wrong. With at least some members of the West Ham board now unconvinced he is the man to take them forward. It may be the last, with the match now seen effectively as a cup final by his superiors. It is bewildering the speed of the collapse under a competent manager who did admirably to keep Wolves in the Premier League 18 months ago. Doubtedly so, with the financial support he has been given, to the tune of £130 million last summer. Such spending inadvertently raises expectations around a new manager, but serious questions also have been asked of Tim Steidten, the man who led the recruitment drive. Um, Of the Hammers' five big money arrivals, Nicholas Fulkrug has managed only 74 minutes of football and taken until the first week of December to score his first goal. Um, but to be fair, if you think about it, he scored a goal in 74 minutes, which is in fair one match, in it really. It's been in and out of team with injuries. Um, those who have featured more regular have offered little more promise, with PSG loaning Carlos Soler, a small outlet in comparison. The lone bright spark. He has done well as Carlos Soler. He really has. Even so, the manager is always the first to take the flak. And given the performances of those players who were already at the London Stadium prior to his arrival, the responsibility for the start, which has left the Hammers close to the drop zone than the European spots, lies squarely with him. The manner of Tuesday's defeat to Leicester, which has pushed him on the brink, cannot be migrated by Ruud van Nistelrooy's managerial bans. It didn't come in isolation. The schoolboy defending, which gifted the hosts victory, follows an increasingly concerning trend. Jean-Claude Todibo, a French international and one-time Barcelona player, was meant to be an elite signing, but no defender across the division has made more errors, leading to an opposition shot. It's merely good fortune that only one has led to a goal. I think Taribo started a bit shaky, but coming to the game. But like we said at the beginning of this stream, Lopetegui's had a massive fallout with him, and he's not even involved with the first team training. So, and apparently this is what I've heard. Um, Tadibo's come out and said, and a few other players, is if Lopetegui stays, they want out of the club, and they're going to end up losing some of the better players. So they need to be very careful. Does David Sullivan and co. And that bench, because the only people who are going to really suffer are the fans. Alongside him, the performances of Max Kilman, a seasoned Premier League professional who played every minute of last season at Wolves, have been below the standards he has previously set. Kilman made a howler for Leicester's third goal and has looked a shadow of himself for much of this season, despite playing every minute so far. Lopetegui's insistence on pushing his wide defenders forward to help with the build-up play does leave those in the middle inevitably exposed, especially when he also demands such a high line as at the King Power Stadium on Tuesday. I cannot believe how they set up defensively on the halfway line. It's made no sense. Tim Sherwood told on Stock Special. So that's the graph I show you. His fullbacks are making almost double the runs into the opposition box, as in Moyes' final season. But those left to do it, the defending, are not up to that extra pressure. A fragile defence would at least be easier to stomach if signs the direction of the travel towards a more expensive style were clear. So basically, what he's saying is, there's no, there's nobody knows. He's what he's trying to implicate on pitch. The fans don't know what's going on neither. Lopetegui can point to hints of his implication with nearly half a season gone. West Ham are playing a lower proportion of long passes than at any point in the last decade, seeing more of the ball in the opposition box and producing a higher XG than at any point across Moyes' era. But metrics aside, West Ham fans and her hierarchy, are seemingly watching a team in decline. Um, all the build-up play in the world means nothing when the Hammers are also so bad in both boxes, which they are. Let's be honest. You know, they can't defend and they can't score. It was perfectly summed up at Leicester. West Ham had 31 shots to Leicester's 8, but the quality of the host efforts were more than twice as good, and they looked likely to score with almost every attack. The Hammers are too easy to play through and ineffective in attack. They are on course to concede almost as many goals as in Moyes' previous final season, but their shot conversion has dropped from the sixth best in the league to the fourth worst, largely as the quality of chances has decreased significantly. Lopetegui's personal issues in attack come despite the creative and technical quality of Jared Bowen, Mohamed Kudus, and Lucas Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta has not been the same player since the betting scandal, and you know he's got he's got his career on the hanging on in the balance, um, and you know he got dropped for the Leicester game, and I completely understood why he got dropped. I really do. I think it was the right move to make, dropping the Piquet at bench, because he hasn't been bringing it like he did under David Moyes. The drop off of the latter's form is particularly alarming, given he contributed almost half of the trio's output in Moyes' last 12 months and leaves the manager with questions to answer. Things reached a new low in midweek when the Brazilian was benched, with Lopetegui apparently unsure um, how best to use him. So this is Lucas Piqueta's rapid decline. So this is his heat map in 2024-25. Goal scored 0.18 to 0.14 this season. Expected assists in 2023-2024 it was 0.17, now it's 0.09. Take-ons completed 1.4 in compared to 0.62. Opposition box touches, it was 2.26, it's now 2.23. Big chances created, it was 0.14 last season, it's now 0.18. The Mandrake midfielder found a home in floating off the left under Moyes. Now he's been moved more centrally to contribute within West Ham's slower build-up. Piqueta is creating more chances than last season, but as expected, assists have almost halved, and he has not made a single Premier League goal this term. His manager's confusion was most apparent in the 3-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest earlier this season, where Piquet was tasked with playing on the shoulder of the home defence to latch on to Gerard Bowen's balls in behind. It looked more like the two players had each other's instructions. So what they're saying there is the instructions Gerard Bowen were given, and the instructions what Piquet were given. Piquet were playing with the instructions of Gerard Bowen. Gerard Bowen were playing with the instructions of Piquet. So you know, it's crazy what's going on. Even the creative trio were finishing and all was firing on all cylinders. They are carrying out for a dynamic forward to fill the void created by Mikel Antonio's gradual decline. How the 34-year-old Mikel Antonio's contribution has naturally waned over time. So, as you can see, you can see how it's declined. I mean, he was at his best in 2019-2020 when he got 0.51. to 0.11 now. So you can see how it's all declined. That's crazy. The 34-year-old continues to work hard up front, but his best years increasingly look behind him. Attempts to find a genuine rival for his spot have fallen by the wayside for several years, but few have more muddled than the signing of Fulkrug, who himself turns 32 in February and arrived with a history of injury problems. And don't forget, guys, right, that at the time of signing Fulkrug, they were on the verge of signing John Duran from Aston Villa, who's young, and he ended up signing a player who's, let's be honest, is nearly ready for retirement home and doing his game shows in Germany and stuff, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's madness. Our West Ham ended up betting on the fortunes of a talented but highly mobile forward has spent far more time on the treatment table than in the squad today, when their number one target was Aston Villa's 20-year-old, reliably fit, all action forward Duran Duran that spoke about him just now. It's difficult to explain. And to add to other question marks casting shadows over the West Ham season, when will they see a return of the Premier League's fourth biggest net spend? What has happened to Kilman and Todibo? How is a team with such creative players creating so low quality chances? And the biggest one of all is how much longer can Lopetegui hold on? Well, he should have gone already. He should have gone already. So sorry that we're a bit long-winded, guys. But I thought that were an interesting article what I found, and that was from Tim Sherwood. So I'll put the link to that in the description so you can read it to your heart content. But yeah, what's happened at West Ham is let's be honest, guys. Let me just pull the screen down here. It's absolutely it's heartbreaking, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's heartbreaking if you're a West Ham fan. And I just don't know where Lopetegui is going to go. How's he going to feel knowing that the club won't rid of him, or the majority at board won't rid of him? It's so divided is that club now with Lopetegui. Sorry, with Lopetegui, with Sullivan, Tim Steiden, Kaczynski, Noble. All these different people trying to input on different things, and yet Sullivan seems to be the one who can veto any decision being made. It's mad. It's absolute crazy, and not forgetting out the shareholders as well at West Ham. They're important in all these too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how if there's going to be any sort of atmosphere in that stadium, if anyone's going to really boycott the game. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this edition of the Sporting Express. Hope you've enjoyed it. And look after yourselves, and I will see you all soon. Take care, guys. See you later, guys. Thank you very much.
Everyone's welcome, including you. Your views and opinions matter too.